Fuck. Fuck. You douchebag. Come on this time. Come on. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Who the fuck made this goddamn track? This time. Who the fuck created this level? God damn it. You motherfucker.
Hey, Dean, as much as I would love to watch you crash in this sky course, how about we watch a movie and do a new review?
Yeah, I mean, I'm done with this fucking game. We're not gonna watch some fucking utter gutter trash like Suburban Commando, though, are we?
Suburban Commando? Fuck no, dude. I've got a much better film lined up for you to watch. Yes, sir. We are going to check out the late 80s classic of The Wizard. Y'all remember that shit, right? Fred Savage?
The Wizard, really? Alright, man. Let's do it.
Alright, guys. So while Dean and I watch the movie, why don't you guys check out the trailer for educational and historical purposes?
Two tickets to California, please.
That's $226.
Well, we only have $27.30. What does that get us?
Nowhere.
Corey's taking his brother Jimmy on a ride.
These two boys already traveled more than 80 miles across the state.
We've hired someone to find him.
What's his problem? He's just shy.
But Jimmy's got a secret.
You got 50,000 on Double Dragon?
Jimmy's got a secret.
You got 50,000 on Double Dragon?
You know, that part always really bothered me. 50,000 on Double Dragon and he's at the fucking Abobos on the 3rd level. I say that's bullshit. Tom, let's put it to the test.
Whoa, dude, you just happen to carry a cartridge around of Double fucking Dragon?
Oh yeah, dude, don't you? #1 arcade smash, bro.
No, I don't, dude. I happen to carry around my own copy of Super Mario fucking Duck Hunt.
Duck cunt?
Hunt! Hunt!
So you do 31,000 points. You can't get 50,000 points. Fuck you, wizard kid. And fuck the scriptwriter. Also, he must have been playing a Player's Choice cabinet from Nintendo, because that wasn't the arcade version. On with the fucking trailer.
Could make this the ride of their lives.
Look at him. He's a wizard. He's headed for the video championship.
This guy?
What is that?
Power glove.
Yeah, well, just keep your power gloves up front, right?
With a touch of romance.
I am not kissing a boy.
And a ton of trouble.
That's huge.
Well, too late.
4 feet down! Sorry about that. You maniac!
They'll get there any way they can.
Daddy! Here we come!
Now,
Video Armageddon.
it's going to take a lot of guts.
You keep going!
A little magic.
You're the best!
And the wizard. Bo Bridges, Christian Slater, Fred Savage. The Wizard.
Okay, guys, we just got done watching the movie, and I gotta admit, it's been a while since I've seen The Wizard. Probably the 90s for me. I remember going to the theater to see this with my dad back in '89. My brother came with us. I'm sure Dean's got a theater memory for the movie as well.
With my pop.
Exactly. Like the point is, everyone back in the day in the late 80s went to see this movie. It was a huge deal. Nintendo was getting ready to release the new Super Mario sequel, and the system in general was probably at its height. I mean, it was huge. And
Nintendo ruled the fucking world.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
It was everywhere. Kids played it all the time. I remember spending a lot of crazy nights just playing video games with my brother, and it was some of the best memories of my life. But by the time this movie came out, it kind of signified it was at its pinnacle for the Nintendo. So this was the best it could get for that 8-bit system. And in retrospect, after seeing the movie just now, I gotta admit, it doesn't really hold up. It's kind of overwrought in a lot of areas, and this is to be expected. I mean, no one goes into The Wizard in 2016 and expects some sort of amazing film, and it's not. But Fred Savage, he was always a great actor. Christian Slater, likable as always, and the plot, not bad. But I gotta admit, there was some certain scenes that just dragged. There was a couple of scenes where the kids are getting ruled for their money, and I could have counted maybe 3. They should have shaved off 2 and trimmed some of the fat, and then really beefed up some of the sellout-y elements, because let's face it, that's what the movie's about, is the advertising. So, Dean, what do you think on those regards?
Well, like I said, I did watch it in the theater with my dad in '89, and at the time, it blew my mind. But now watching it, I feel like the director or whoever wrote the film put this out there as a movie without video games, and I feel like it just wasn't working. Somewhere along the way, they're like, let's shoehorn something else in there, and they shoehorned the video game aspect in there. Because I feel like if you took the video game aspect out of it, it could have been a totally different movie. And the focus was obviously the video games back then. Now watching it, there are a lot of weird fucking scenes that they wouldn't have gotten away with nowadays. There were a couple scenes where it was a little rapey, and it's just a teenage girl and old fucking truckers trying to steal their money, and the way they were grabbing her behind the truck, it was a little bothersome.
Yeah.
Not to mention, the kid Jimmy must have been autistic or something. He was bullied throughout the whole movie. This was obviously before anti-bullying laws.
And even the main characters kind of bust his balls a little bit, so...
Right.
It's weird.
Fred Savage is, knocking over Jimmy's creations as he's building them, and it's what the fuck is going on? The 80s were brutal.
Yeah. And another thing about the movie that's kind of in my opinion, it's one of my draws to it. It's like a time capsule. I mean, when I look at The Wizard, it embodies the late 80s of my childhood. I mean, during that year, there was a shit ton of amazing Hollywood movies that came out. And somehow The Wizard kind of wriggles its way in between that, because, I mean, it does have a budget. It's got decent actors.
If it didn't have video games attached to it, if it didn't have Nintendo by its side, I don't believe that this movie would exist.
Exactly. And then at the end, the Universal Studios sequence just seems kind of tacked on. Oh yeah, check out where we are. Universal fucking Studios. And it just seems weird.
It's kind of like the end scene of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, only not done well at all.
Yeah. But overall, I gotta say that, the movie doesn't hold up. Everyone knows that. It's a piece of shit. But you know what? It's a piece of shit from my childhood, and
like you said, it's a time capsule.
It's a time capsule.
If you want to see a 1989, 1990 time capsule, this is a good movie to watch.
It's a film that was segueing between 2 decades, and what you have is that 80s innocence moving into the 90s. And it just encompassed what it meant to be a kid during that era. And it's perfect to watch.
It does kind of sum up the 80s. It's this was the 80s, and then when they open up I don't even know what you would call it. When they open things up to
The
show...
Technodrome.
Yeah, when they open up the Technodrome to show Mario 3 for the first time, it's kind of like, this was the 80s, now this is the 90s.
Yeah, it is symbolic. It's symbolic in an unnecessary sort of way. Like, it's a Nintendo movie. You're going too deep with this. Autistic children, traveling to California, rapey private eyes. It just doesn't need to be done, you know?
So earlier I mentioned, like, that Double Dragon was on a player's choice cabinet. I forgot how, like, that was all they really played in the movie was player's choice cabinets. Like, you didn't see player's choice cabinets really at all. When you did, it was like, whoa. Like, I remember there was one at Toys R Us.
Something special.
Like, it's cool. You get, like, 10 different NES games that you can play in the arcade, but it's all, like, Nintendo ports. So it's like...
Right, and they focus on very specific games in this movie. You got, like, Mega Man 2, Mario 2,
Ninja Gaiden,
Rad Racer.
They mentioned Simon's Quest.
Yeah, Simon's Quest, and there's like a whole bunch.
Turtles.
There's a couple of montages that go a little too far. Also, the whole movie's just stretched, bloated to accommodate to this like consumerism, and like.
I really do feel like it was like put out there as one movie, and then they're like, well, that's not going to work. Well, how about we shoehorn in the Nintendo aspect?
Yeah.
And then they made it.
Well. There we have it, folks. Honestly, that's all I can pretty much say about The Wizard.
I think we went over it pretty well.
I think we did. And out of 10 stars, I'm going to have to give it like, let's say 2.5. 2.5 stars. And let me make this clear. The acting was decent. The plot, you know, it could hold shit up. But outside of that, I don't see kids getting into this today.
I'm going to give it one Rhode Island out of a California.
Wow. That's his highest California yet, folks. So, until next time, same fat channel, same fat time.
Hey.